I feel like a kid at Christmas right now. I am giddy. I'm excited. I can't control myself. I have so much joy inside of me that it just wants to burst out and I want to run around and scream. I have so much energy. And I was waiting all day for this trailer because I had heard that it was going to come out and I didn't know what time it was supposed to come out. And normally when the trailers come out, they come out earlier in the day. And waiting until 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time was way too freaking long, but so worth it. I had, within the first 10 seconds, chills running down my spine, my arm, goosebumps running down my arm, literal waves of euphoria as I was watching this trailer going throughout my body. Like I was literally feeling like I don't know. It was really crazy how excited I was during this. And what's even crazier, we're gonna get into spoilers in a second, but they didn't even show what I wanted to see in this trailer. And I think I'm more excited than even if they would have shown me the confirmation of what we already kind of know. This was insane. I don't know if I'm more excited. Like, I don't know if I'm more excited for this movie than I was for Infinity War and Endgame. This is arguably one of my most anticipated movies of all time. It's insane. And what's crazy is that I'm not even the biggest fan of Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's a good Spider-Man. Way better than Garfield. Better than Tobey in certain aspects. Tobey was good for the time, but there's a lot of cheesiness with it. But that's also who I grew up with, so there's nostalgia tied to that. And Tom Holland, I think we still have not seen the best version of Spider-Man. I will always refer to the 1994 cartoon of Spider-Man as the best version of Spider-Man. That voice is Spider-Man, and the storylines that he goes through, and his voiceover while he's talking about what's going on in his life, that is Spider-Man to me. But anyway, let's talk about this trailer because it's crazy. So, starts off with Doc Ock. You know, we see a little bit more of the battle between him and Spider-Man, and he says, "Hello, Peter," and then he takes off the mask, and he sees this Tom Holland Spider-Man. He's like, "You're not Peter. Oh, you're not Peter Parker because it's not that is the villain from Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire." So, which we already know. And I just want to quickly say that there's no way that Sony and Marvel have not decided to add Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this movie. Even though they have not been seen in this trailer, it's guaranteed because the backlash that they would get from the fans, and it's such, imagine the marketing for toys, for posters, for any kind of merchandise to have 3 Spider-Mans on there. And the fact that everybody's going to be freaking out because that's what we all want, because that's what we would all expect if you're bringing in villains from their universes, and literally everybody from their universes, and you don't bring in the actual Spider-Mans. And we just saw a few years ago an actual Spider-Verse movie. They have to bring them in. So it's all but confirmed at this point in time. I know that everybody denies it on Sony's side and the actors and all that kind of stuff, but they're in this movie. Guaranteed. And even if they weren't, because I was so hyped from this trailer, I would enjoy this movie. So then the other thing too that I really noticed about this trailer, and I've watched it quite a few times, is I feel like Doc Ock is a little bit on Spider-Man's side. And I like that he has, by the looks of it, quite a big role in this movie, in the sense that it seems like he already knows what's going on. He has the first battle. I assume that he's going to be the first one that Spider-Man battles. And I also love that, you know, the teaser that we got a few months back showed so much. That was not a teaser, that was a trailer. And then they just kind of build off of that, because now we know that the spell has happened, and Doctor Strange says, you know, we kind of messed up with that spell, because we're getting visitors now. And that's just a line that just made me so happy to hear. And then they show a little bit more. But we see that Dr. Octopus has quite a bit of screen time in this trailer, and it seems as though he knows what's going on because you're battling ghosts. And then it transitions over to Doctor Strange explaining that all of these villains met their fate against Spider-Man. So they all die. So it seems as though Doctor Strange obviously knows what's going on, and Dr. Octopus as well. And it almost seems like he's on Spider-Man's side, kind of. There's a scene where Ned, MJ, and Spider-Man are talking to Dr. Octopus and asking him what his name is, and it's kind of a funny moment where they're all laughing at his name, Doc Ock or whatever, and Dr. Otto Octavius, I think, is what he says, and they laugh at it, and there's a bit of humor in this that I think will work really well for the movie, but the trailer itself was just epic moment, and then you have a little bit of comedy within these few seconds that you have, and it's not enough. It doesn't flow properly. I feel like in the movie you'll have, you won't be having an epic moment where you're freaking out and then we're gonna have a comedy joke right afterwards. No, it'll be like epic moment, slowly build down from that, and then you will have the comedy, and then we can build up again within 10-15 minutes instead of just 2 or something. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I thought that the jokes were good or okay, but I didn't enjoy them as much because I just wanted epic moments, and that's what I wanted, right? And also just laughing at the name, like that kind of devalues Dr. Octopus, I find, a little bit here. I don't want him to be a joke at all, and I don't think the rest of the movie he will be. And I think that he will get a lot of screen time. I think he's a little bit on his side. I feel like he was kind of trapped, though. They had trapped him somehow. That perhaps Strange and Spider-Man trap him in this thing because he was far away from the other three. And why would if he was actually on their side, he would just be with them. So I think he's kind of trapped in that place, and there was like a glass in between there, and he couldn't get out. That's my theory. But I do feel that he's with them later on because he's explaining things. And then at one point we see numerous villains. We see Electro, Jamie Foxx back as Electro, and he actually, when he kind of lights up, he has like the mask of Electro, and I was like, that is incredible. That you are hitting all the right notes right now. So the combination of Sony and Marvel together is like, let's give the fans what they want, what they deserve. And that's why I feel like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to be in this movie, because they understand their fan base completely. And seeing that mask was just freaking awesome, an electric mask, kind of. And then we also saw William Dafoe confirmed as Green Goblin coming back. That was just chills running down my spine once again. I'm 99% certain we saw the other Harry Osborn Green Goblin in this from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I didn't expect that we'd have both of them. That's really cool. Then we saw, obviously, Electro. We see a little bit more of that. We saw the very end of the trailer is Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard showing up to battle Spider-Man. And that scene is also just incredible. I'm freaking out throughout this entire thing. So we're getting essentially a Sinister Six: Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Lizard, Electro, and 2 Green Goblins. You also have technically Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture, who is still alive, who could possibly be part of this. I don't know. And since that they brought back Sandman, are we going to get potentially Venom from Spider-Man 3? Are we going to get, the other Harry Osborn from Spider-Man 3? I don't know. That would be freaking awesome. They brought back a lot of people already, and they don't need more, but I'm just saying that there is the possibility of that. And what I just wanted to bring back, though, is Dr. Octopus at one point gets like electrocuted in one of the buildings, and it looks like he's fighting potentially Electro. So that makes me think that he's on Spider-Man's side, because he's one of the few villains that actually turns at the very end of Spider-Man 2. He actually becomes a hero at the end. And I'm very curious to see if that's what they're going with, because that's really cool. I would have almost been fine with Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus taking on all the villains. I think that would have been really interesting and a good movie on its own without even bringing the other Spider-Mans in. But if you do that as well, I'm going to be even happier. And then at the very, very end, we do see that Doctor Strange is saying, I can't stop them, and there's more coming, or they're coming. And we don't know who that is. But he says it in a bad way, so it makes me think that there's more villains. What is happening? Is this going to tie into Loki somehow with the multiverse over there and Kang potentially? I don't know. That would be kind of cool. I don't think it'll be that. I think it's just going to be potentially more villains, or that could actually be when the other villains are going to be coming in, and we're going to see a bunch of them at that point. That could be when Electro, that could be at the very beginning of the movie when this first happens. That's a possibility. Could be the end where there's other things. It could also just be the Spider-Mans. It could be Andrew and Tobey coming in, and he's like, this shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be coming to our world, so that's why it's a bad thing. Or it could be something completely different. I don't know. There's so many things now, right? It's just wild to think of all the different possibilities. And I just want to see this movie so badly. I'm freaking out. Let me know in the comments below if you've heard of it. I haven't watched any breakdowns. I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts and impressions first before I jump into anybody else's theories or anything like that. Also, Daredevil wasn't shown. So I just wanted to see Daredevil confirmed in this, and I didn't necessarily need that. I think that would just been a nice thing, and I would have liked to have seen another Spider-Man going like this and be like, that's not Tom Holland. That's going with either Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, or seeing the three of them, just their hands doing this, I would have been very happy with that. I cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this. And yeah, I cannot wait for December 17th. You've all been bearded in. Beardage!